It's Autism Awareness Day, and this day always makes me think of the day that Ella was diagnosed with autism because it was 2 days after Autism Awareness Day. It was April 4th of 2019. If you're a parent and you are possibly thinking you're about to get a diagnosis for your child, or maybe you just got one and it's very new for you, I want you to know it is such a confusing time, and that's okay, because especially if it's your first child, which was the situation for me, I kept waiting for things to happen, but knowing in my own intuition that things were not happening at the right time. Something just wasn't right. I also knew that I was a first time mom and I had never experienced this before. It was a very confusing time. Deep down, I knew that the day that I went to like the final meeting at the medical diagnostic, that we would be getting that diagnosis. I knew that. But when they said it, I still burst into tears. I still felt the need to have to process that and the shock of it, and that it was actually real for the first time. But I also felt very validated because I think, especially as parents of a child that's just been diagnosed, you have been up at night thinking about it day in and day out, because there's something that you just can't quite put your finger on that's just not working, not how it should be. You go back and forth about whether diagnosis is the right step or they could grow out of it, because everybody wants to tell you that to make you feel better in the beginning, which is also okay because that could happen. That happens for a lot of people. But I think when you know, even that day after diagnosis, I still thought things would maybe not get to the point that they have. I didn't know that Ella would be as severe as she has become. I didn't know we were going to be here. I didn't know it would come to this. I didn't know I would never have a conversation with her. I still had so much hope in my heart, and I still do, because I don't think you can ever truly 100% let go of that hope. But there does become a time where you have to be more realistic about the reality of the situation. Always keep that little bit of hope in the back of your heart. Reality helps with acceptance. And my life is nothing like I pictured it. Nothing. And that's not me talking bad about autism. It's just my reality. I pictured a life for my children that was at a specific school, at a specific home, growing up with their cousins close, their grandparents close, having a child that I could talk to. I dreamed about her career one day, maybe who the person that she would grow up to become, what she would do with her life. I had all of the normal and completely appropriate hopes and dreams for my child, as any parent would. To cry about that or be upset about that or disappointed that it didn't work out that way, there's nothing wrong with that. And don't let anybody tell you that there is, because that's what any person would do. They would grieve it. They would have to work towards acceptance. And I'm in a really good place, but having to even say those things out loud is still hard, because I still struggle with the possibility that I still won't ever really be able to have like this in-depth conversation with my child in her whole entire life. But I just choose to be grateful for the lessons I've learned, for the person I've become, for the growth as a person I've made, for the child that Ella is. I had to retrain my brain to realize jobs don't make you who you are. A career, that doesn't make you who you are. What makes you who you are is how you present to the world, how you work on yourself, and how you treat others. How you express love and kindness into the world. That is all that matters. Your purpose, I think, is shown to you more once you let go of the fact that you think your purpose is like a career, because it's not. I think your mission and your purpose in life is finding your authentic self and presenting that to the world. from the highest place of love within your heart. And Ella does that all day, every day, living in the present moment because she's not actually able to do anything else but be authentic and coming from the highest place of love at every moment of every day. And she's lucky in that aspect because for us having to be the caretakers, there's so much stress involved. It's really hard to stay in that place every single moment of every single day, but I'm trying so hard. And it's hard because you can't take care of yourself like you want to. When your child has so many medical needs, you always put them first. I'm always on the back burner. I would sacrifice myself every time so that she could be the one that's put first. But it's also okay to realize that you have to live as long as possible to take care of your child because you're the one that's going to do it the best. And if you want to be around to do that, you need to start making yourself the priority in a way, because if you don't take care of yourself, you're not going to live forever like you have to. I was 30 when Ella was diagnosed with autism. I'm now 37. In 7 years, I have had to quit my job to be a full-time caregiver to my child. I've had to move an hour and a half from the place that I thought I would never leave for resources because there wasn't enough. I just never saw myself here, but I am here. And every decision I've had to make along the way, I have had to come from a place of intuition because no one teaches you what to do. They just don't. There's no book for these children. There's not. There's a lot of books, but there's no book specifically for your child. The most important thing you can do as a caregiver of your child with a disability is to work on your self-growth, find yourself within that growth, and listen to your heart because it's going to guide you every step of the way.